electronics career. That's going to be a huge benefit for them moving forward.
И, соответственно, мы проводим с ним много бесед по поводу Counter-Strike и делимся мыслями между собой.
For myself, I see like perfect picture. The perfect image for me is having a player like Sam Young doing a lot of important things in the game. My expectations of how good he must be is not satisfied at the moment.
He seems to have a very good mentality. Basically, all he mentions is Blade and some of the other players constantly pointing out the mistakes that he's making. And he seems very receptive to it. And I feel like if you're constantly talking about your team pointing out mistakes you're making, that could you off pretty quick. But SDY seems to have a very level head about it and a very good approach to it.
Но я думаю, что Вите стало гораздо комфортнее играть. Он чувствует себя увереннее во время игры и, соответственно, говорит, проявлять больше инициативы.
I'm not trying to be very harsh. I know that it's hard for him. He has a lot of time to reach his goal. The future is very simple. He is playing with us the major. I mean, this is a line at this moment, so we don't look further.
I have to think that this NAVI team could reach a higher ceiling. All the changes that were made coming into 2022 to challenge that NAVI team worked if you think of FaZe's perspective.
They are still like beatable, and the way how we beat them in last Lisbon was also a sign for us.
I don't think NAVI needs to change anything. I think they're going to be just fine.
I think if we would play like 2 more months with SDY, we could beat them in the grand final.
For NAVI, it's just a matter of sitting tight, keep incorporating SDY into the team, and start looking towards building up towards the Rio Major.
Down but never out, the Na'Vi Nation are born to win and have their star back where he belongs.
They certainly have the confidence. Look at Reason bit there with the AK, showing them all up.
The full finals in touching distance for the reigning champs. Vitality won the international bout, but their toughest challenge lays ahead.
The one-man army. Dupree shuts it all down.
A spring final rematch for a full final spot.
The flagship matchup of the night, the top 2 rated teams at the tournament, both tussling for a spot at the Royal Arena. Vitality landing themselves a spot here after taking down G2 yesterday. But NAVI, they come in after a group victory, but in quite a different situation. As guess what, guys? Simple, he is back, baby.
Simple is back, and not only is he back, but NAVI played beautifully even without him. And that's what was so crazy about it. They started their journey here in Copenhagen by losing their first map. We started being worried. We created scenarios in our mind about maybe they had to fight back to the Gauntlet. None of that bullcrap. They destroyed everybody in best of 1 in very convincing manners, and now the best player in the world to ever do it is back.
And that's the question, right, coming in for NAVI. They're coming in as a new team. They're coming in with Simple once again. For the rest of the teams here at the Blast group stage so far, we've seen, what they're made of. We've seen the progress they've made. We've seen them from one week to another. Coming in with Simple now, NAVI is a new team coming out of a break. Hetrick did just fine, standing in as a player. Picked up the AWP role as well, had some great performances, but having Simple back in your lineup, it's a complete new iteration of this NAVI lineup that we're going to see for the second half of the season. So let's be honest, it's the first time we're going to see them play in a very long while.
Yeah, completely different NAVI, completely different beast coming into the server today. I like that Hetrick is still here with the squad, though. We saw him watching the guys warming up, obviously learning a lot from the big guns on the screen we do see here. I do want to throw SDY's name into the mix, though. We know that he's going to be with the squad at least until after the Rio Major. We had a nice little piece just before the break on him as well. I want to get a temperature check from him, or from you guys, on him. How do you feel he's been faring so far?
Look, you're talking about this beautiful piece we had just before the break, and I want to touch on it very quickly because I think that Blade's perspective on SDY is one of the healthiest and very rare that we have in esports, right? You usually see teams, when they have a rookie coming in, they're trying to protect him, like shell him from a PR perspective. Like, he's doing amazing, we're very happy with him, it's going to be all right. I think that Blade has a very nuanced but also true approach to it, which is to say he is not quite where I want him to be, but it is also okay. And I think by doing that, you are proving to your player that you are being honest with him, right? You're being honest. You are not delivering what you're supposed to, but you're also not supposed to do it right now. We're going to give you time. You're not where you're supposed to be, but it's going to be all right. And I think it's a very refreshing and healthy approach to it.
It's music to my ears, right? I'm getting sick and tired of all these, as you said, different GMs, different players, different intermediates. He's doing a great job. No, he's not. Look at the way he's playing on the server. Look at the contribution he has. It's not going well right now. Doesn't mean it can't change over time, and that's exactly what Blade is talking about. They will give him time in order to meet set expectations. Right now, Samdar Young hasn't really played as good as you would have liked to, but as a team, they're still finding success. They won Blast Lisbon. They did it in convincing fashion as well. Got a trophy, and now they're ready to play the major with him as well. So as an individual player, I guess, in terms of output on the server, not quite up there what they like him to be. As a team, it's going just fine. So I like the perspective as well.
Well, let's get some thoughts from the man himself. It's Samdar Young with Banks.
When it comes to your role is a very important one, right? There's a lot of things for you to do within the team. Do you see that, like, it's crucial? Do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on you in that sense?
It's like every person in the team is really important. It doesn't matter, like, what role do you play. So the pressure is, like, on the same level for everyone.
Look at that very, very PR answer there, SDY. I like it. I like it. Now, you're going up against Vitality today, who obviously they bring in Spinks, but they've changed a lot in terms of position. Blade is a guy who loves to do his preparation, but they've only played 5 maps with this team. So is it a harder team to feel ready for, or are you still confident?
Yeah, of course, it's a really small map pool that they played, as you said, and it's going to be harder to read them properly. But overall, we are confident in our gameplay, and we have new things that we will show.
Oh, new things. I'm looking forward to it. SDY, thank you very much.
New things, I mean, the most obvious one being Simple's return to the server for NAVI. We can't hype this one up enough. As you aptly said, Jacob, the first time we're going to see Simple entering the server out of this player break. I am very excited.
Yeah, the question remains, how much have they been practicing with Simple, right? He was stuck in another country trying to get it all sorted out, and now he's coming back into play with NAVI. How much time have they had to practice? We know Vitality, they've been boot camping for a couple of days. We heard Heroic, they were boot camping. NIP came out of the best boot camp they've ever had. NAVI, you can't really give them the same benefit of the doubt in the sense that they haven't really been boot camping with Simple in the lineup. So give it a little bit of time. We know the qualities are Simple, so it's not going to be a problem. But in terms of like seeing a new Navi with new stuff, not quite sure yet.
I guess if you're in the Vitality camp, you might just inject that copium straight into your leg and thinking, listen, with Simple, they're not reaching that altitude quite yet. Maybe he's going to need a couple of maps just to warm up. But we know what the man is made of. And I myself, being a Vitality fan, I have no hope. I think Simple is going to bring the fire straight from the get-go.
Well, Jacob, you had questions about how much time they've had to practice, how much time they've had to boot camp, and I believe we do have some answers with the GOAT himself.
So Simple, you're back in action, but the team did a very good job during the group stage without you. You were cheering on from the sidelines, but were you impressed that they were able to make that run and the classic Navi lower bracket run?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they did so well with hat-trick standing. And yeah, I always believed that they'll win, and the way how they won last 2 games was really, really cool. They had a big score, you know.
Completely dominated their opponent for sure. But now you're back, right? And things are as normal for the team. Blade was very worried when I spoke to him before about how much practice you guys would get with you coming back in. So how long has it been? How much practice have you had and how do you feel?
We had 5 game days, practice days, and that's it. And of course, some individual practice.
And you're smiling when you say individual practice. How is your individual form right now? How are you feeling?
I don't know. I mean, I need to play more games. I wish I played more games, but it seems like we need to win only one best of 3.
And in terms of that, right, winning just one best of 3, you're going up against the Vitality, who they've made a lot of position and role changes. When you've looked at this, do you think that they've become a stronger Vitality than when you last faced them?
Of course, yeah. They upgrade their communication, and they got more team play. I see more setups for CT side, and the way how they play much better. So even if we beat them a lot time before, we still pretty, you know, like we're trying to let us be scared a bit, you know, so we cannot underrate them, because they always can play better and better during the game, especially they have a really good individual players.
And also, from these improvements, we've seen all of the players kind of look a bit better in form. What has Blade looked at in particular, and is there some maps where you feel like you have a big advantage over these guys?
Not really. We just try to change a bit our game, and even we change some positions. You know, the way how we play on T side as well. So it's becoming a bit different because we start to understand that people start to learn more of us, you know, and they expect from us to do the same things, so we need to change our game a bit.
So we're expecting a new exciting Navi to come out today, and are you confident you're going to go get that full final spot off this win?
Hopefully. We 100% need the spot for Blast, so we can just focus on other events.
That's what it's all about. Simple. Thank you very much and good luck.
From a GOAT to another great, another reason why we are calling this a flagship matchup of the night. Simple versus Saiwu going down on the server.
Yeah, and I am glad that in the last few months we can once again have this conversation of who is the best between these two, because at the very beginning of the year, and you know how fond I am of Saiwu, that conversation was not happening. There wasn't a conversation. Simple has put everyone behind in 2022, and Zai won his hand at a very poor start by his own standards, I need to add, because for the rest of the population he played amazingly. By his standards, slow start, but he's rising back up again.
Seems to be the trend for not only Saiwu, but also Vitality. This is a great opportunity of putting in a dent towards Navi, right? Navi is not coming in with the best preparation. On the other hand, Vitality is off to a great start with Spinks, off to a great start with Saiwu as well. If there ever was a time to beat Navi in a best of 3, maybe now would be the time for Vitality. So I think they're highly focused and highly motivated to go in here and make a statement if they have the abilities to do so.
Yeah, we've seen the elevation of Saiwu in particular coming into this sort of new look Vitality with Spinks at the helm, obviously taking on a bit more of a sort of late round role as well. That's what the coach rather Zonic was talking about, the importance of coming into things. I also want to just talk about the T-side rating for this team, the highest rated T-side team so far at the full groups by the performance.
And that is a little bit of a surprise. I have to be honest. I thought that the CT side would actually be where they make the whole of a difference. But hell no, apparently their T side have been clicking a lot. And of course, we can talk about the multi-kill ability from Spinx. That is definitely going to be a factor. Saiwu rising to a good level as well is. But I think that Apex did also a good job. We just have this T side on Nuke in mind, where this was the anti-Christ of the performance for Vitality. But for the rest of it, it's been quite good.
It's been very good. 57% win rate on the T side, and that's very legit, and that's taking into account they had a rough run on the T side on Nuke. Again, adding Spinx, it adds more firepower, it adds more closure. We heard Sonic say it, we need a bit more firepower because communication-wise, we can't really do it. And I think the 4v5 conversion rate speaks into that. Now that you have Spinx on the server, you can afford having Apex going out there looking for an entry kill, dying, and then you still have enough firepower behind in order to fight your way back into the round. You have Spinx, you have Saiwu, you have Debris, you have Magic, you have some of the most tenured players in the entirety of Counter-Strike to do that for you. So it's a way more healthy Vitality we've seen so far.
Well, before we dive into this series, we do have an update from Debris.
So Debris, this new Vitality project has got off to a good start, at least, with Spinx coming in. But obviously, you're learning a lot from these moments. Is it a lot less stressful, though? Because you seem to be at least more smiley on cameras.
I mean, I think it's always easy to smile when everything is going according to the plan and like you're having a good time. I'm not saying that I didn't have like a good time in the old roster, but I mean, I think when the season started and we have like the roles more set in stone and everything is working out the way we want, it's obviously a lot easier to smile, and having also created like a decent result so far. So yeah, it's good smile so far, but there's still a lot of work ahead of us. So yeah.
And in terms of that, I keep hearing from you guys about these role changes, position changes. We can see it's benefited now, but did it need Spinx to come in for that to happen, or why couldn't it be done earlier, for you to try and find a success before?
I think one of the main issues we had with the old roster was that Misuta and me, we wanted to play like the same kind of style. Like we both wanted to take map control on a lot of the maps, especially on the T side. And that just eventually made it so we had to cut it in 50-50 for each player. And, that meant that for the 50% of the time I was playing a role that I didn't feel comfortable in, and the same thing for him. And yeah, I think we just needed to look at the team and see like what are we actually good as individuals, and then we needed to have someone that really could contribute with something else that we didn't have in the team already. And I hope that we have found that with Spinx. I mean, so far it's been going really well, so I'm hoping for a bright future.
And would you say now we've got maybe this start of a new Vitality style, which is a balance between what Apex wants, what Zonic wants, rather than just kind of what the old Vitality style was and Apex's way of leading?
Both yes and no. I mean, we still have some of the stuff that we had last year, but we're also looking to improve on especially the tactical part, but mostly maybe on the individual part this year. So I think it's a very big mix of the players putting in more effort and more time into the game and being more stable players and making the right decisions. Then we are focusing on becoming like this great tactical team. It's a very big mix of things, and sometimes we might look at the game and be like, oh, we should have done this different as a team, as a team in terms of tactical mindset. Yeah. But sometimes it's all about like, we're just not there as individuals. We make too many individual mistakes, and that costs rounds and everything. So I think it's very depending on the situation and what that kind of form we're in.
Okay, interesting. Now, today you're going up against NAVI again, who, at least in the past, has been a difficult team for you guys to deal with. But obviously, this looks like a Vitality that can actually challenge and can fight against this. Do you think they're going to be ready for it? Because you only have 5 maps shown on record, right? And also, it's just one game on each, so Blade can't do his normal research.
The one thing about NAVI is I think they will always be ready. I think they are this type of team that's been playing together for so long and have so many experienced players that, they will always be ready, like no matter what. I mean, even if they don't have anti-strat, they will just play their own game, and they're still hard to play. So they are a very strong team in so many ways. And, it's players that I have been playing against in my career for multiple years, so I know them far back from also my time in Astralis. And, so I'm really happy to see that Simple is back in the team. Obviously, if he had something to take care of, I'm happy that that's resolved for him, and having him back so we can play like the full iteration of NAVI. I think that's always the good thing. You want to play him in full force. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting, and I think we're going to be the clear underdog this one. I don't think there's anything to discuss in that one, but we're going to go in with hopefully no regrets, and we just want to go out and show that what we have worked on so far, and maybe it will be enough, maybe it will not. Time will tell.
Time will tell. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Debris, thank you very much.
Inferno, the first map on the cards, brought into the mix by Vitality. We do have a moment from Mahone to be breaking down before we dive into this one. What have we got?
Yeah, so Dupree mentioned that they're working a lot on their tactical aspects and working together. And I have an example that just shows that on Inferno. So right here, we're going to see on the CT side, Dupree, Apex, and Spinx, they're all playing this bomb site together. And the main thing I want to kind of highlight here is even though they have 3 players here towards B, it's always important to kind of figure out how they're going to work together. These 2 players here are separated from Spinx over here towards B, and G2, they're basically going for an all-out B take. Now, what we're going to see here is actually, it looks like it froze a little bit. What we're going to see here is the B take go through. There's going to be a smoke here for CT, the Molotovs towards triple, and I want to highlight how they kind of interact with each other. So you see here that Spinx, he smokes the Molotov at triple, and Dupree, he and Apex are going to go for a late boost at CT. And by going for a late boost, what that does is it kind of makes the CTs, or rather the Ts, as they're scaling towards the site, they're not going to spot the boost right away. That's why you want to do a late boost. So by Hunter scaling and peeking and not seeing anything, he thinks it's clear. First contact will go to Spinx here, but then look at what happens next. Dupree, because he goes for the late boost, he gets the next contact, pulling the attention back towards him, and then you'll see that Apex, who was the person boosting, he's going to throw a flash up high to pull the contact back to Spinx. So the flash goes right here, and now Spinx, he re-peeks towards the right side, kind of having this ping-pong effect where one person peeks from one side, other person peeks from the other, and they have the flashes to coordinate it. So just really good teamwork that's coming out of Vitality, and that's something that, you know, they've definitely been working on.
Excellent work from Danny once again to preface us heading into the first map of this best of 3 series. Gentlemen, final thoughts before we dive into it?
Look, the strategies might have been improved for Vitality, but when you go up against Navi, it's a test of skill. It's a test of roster. We need to see quality coming over from the Danes of Magisk and Dupree. We know Zywoo's quality. We know Spinx will deliver. If you can add the Danes on top of it, then you have an embarras de richesse.
It's the first real test for Vitality, I feel. If they can win this game or make it very, very competitive, perhaps we can start the conversation about Vitality being a team that can contend for the major, being a team that can contend with FaZe, with Navi in the future as well. Can they get a win right here? That could be a statement for the future.
Well, Vitality definitely hoping to sting Navi where it hurts, and maybe their best chance coming up on their map pick is going to be first on Inferno. We're going to see who is catapulting themselves to the Royal Arenas. Our first map is going down in just a few.
Well, we've got another set of tickets to the Royal Arena on the line this evening. It's the last best of 3 of this day. And unfortunately for one of these two teams, the journey keeps going. But Vitality, who looked good, not only with ZywOo, not only with Spinks, but with Dupree and Magisk also putting up some numbers yesterday. I think they've got maybe a good chance at taking NAVI down a peg. But, you know, if you are Vitality and you've created this roster and you went for the hard upgrade that is Spinks, I truly believe at this point, there's kind of 2 teams you look up to, 2 teams that you want to target. That's got to be FaZe and that's got to be NAVI. So tonight, they'll prove to us whether this change, this one piece, this one fresh face in Spinks is enough to drop the likes of NAVI.
That's a good way to put it. I think at the end of the day, everyone's just trying to be able to win tournaments, and NAVI and FaZe, they stand in the way. So if Vitality can't challenge NAVI right now, then they got big problems. So we'll see if they can pull it off. Pimp just walked into the cast room and flipped us off. All right, good way to start the day.
Nice to be at work. Yep, okay. Yeah. Ooh, Spinks getting to work early. They're going to find that push. Simple Perfecto wanted to get a little weird with the mid push. Instead, it's a 4 versus 3. At least SDY is able to bring one back from middle. But we do have Bit alone on Banana. He's got 2 guns, as all the cool kids seem to nowadays. ZywOo putting those things to work yesterday, and look, he's grabbed a pair off the dead body. Actually, no, excuse me, these are his own. He brought him to the gunfight. Magisk catching SDY. That's an open A site now. Once upon a time, it was Bit alone at B, but Electronic made that rotate, and Vitality are just going to slice through this A site like butter.
Yeah, no problem. The dualies are just, yeah. I mean, people are wondering. They just, so much ammo, really high fire rate, and tear through armor. So if anybody does armor buys, they're just really strong. The only thing that stops, I think, teams from buying more is just like when you need utility or like 1 or 2 people on armor. But outside of that, it's hard to argue against getting as many dualies as possible, to be honest. So this is kind of cool. Well, we got Simple back on the server. We have NAVI here at full strength, and we have Vitality, who have looked good. And Spinks is just not a problem. Spinks is he's fragging as well as ZywOo. He's first or second at the top of every scoreboard so far. He's even been able to adapt to maps that he hasn't been used to, like Inferno, for example, where he didn't even really play that map on Ents outside of a handful of times. And he's been playing the B site like a veteran. So love to see this. I think NAVI will be a real big test for Vitality on Inferno. And it'll be nice to see like how they stack up against each other. We'll also start with kind of the Spinks T side to kick things off. So it all starts with a pistol here. Force up comes in, and Simple on the scope instantly.
Let's see it. Electronic MP9. Armor pistols just sprinkled into the mix. Solo Bit again. So we've got that presence top middle, just like last round. Little boost. Now, nice scout shot from Simple, but the SMG of Electronic can't follow forward, so it is man advantage Team Vitality. Barely. ZywOo, very low, very important. Damn, and Apex gets the upgrade.
Let's go. We have seen Simple come into events on very low hours and do just fine. He's so good. I don't know if there's any, I don't think there's anyone else that can do that, you know?
Must be nice.
Yeah, there's like maybe ZywOo, you know what I mean? I don't know if there's anybody else that can really do that, but came into Lisbon, super low hours, won the whole damn thing. Still the best player of the year by a really high margin, even if things have tapered off slightly. And outside of the missing the week, no, there's really nothing to be worried about when it comes to Simple, to be honest.
It's a really fair point you bring up. You know, we are looking at the Lisbon Grand Finals rematch, however, with what's supposed to be the new and improved Vitality. And that was, of course, one of the best showings we got out of Vitality throughout the course of that last roster. Their first and only big stage playoff showing.
NAVI, a team with a lot of stability versus the team that I think objectively won the offseason. I don't think the competition was that fierce for this offseason, but obviously they integrated Spinks so well. I would just see. I mean, my prediction is they make playoffs at every event for the rest of the year. Maybe that's not a super brave thing to say. I think that they are, you know, potentially in contention to actually win tournaments, but that does mean being able to beat teams like NAVI or FaZe in finals, which is something we haven't seen yet. You know, that would be a huge improvement. So we'll see if that's the case. Again, like in 2021, it was Vitality the only team outside of Navi to win a tournament, period. And it was only a tournament where Navi weren't attending. So now there's FaZe.
Someone's got to win.
Yeah, someone's got to win. And now there's FaZe in the mix, who are neck and neck with Navi.
And we talk about the winner of the offseason. Fair to say that, you know, it was a team we saw right before the break as well, but this Degster move to OG, man.
Yeah, that's true.
That's another one that was kind of under the radar. We had a content piece with some of the players before this event started, just talking about, you know, the offseason and the moving pieces and whatnot, and Degster's name came up more than once. Just kind of as like one of those underrated moves, you know. It's not one of the headliner teams necessarily, OG. You know, fans far and few between. I can't think of any.
All right. I'll just pretend I don't exist.
But now, obviously, Vitality looking to plug and play just like they did. Scout on Simple, MP9 for Perfecto. Very similar situation to the last round, which, again, was just Electronic dying top mid early. Simple coming at it from a different angle. So trying to keep those positions nice and fresh. The nade finds both him and Bit.
Could have been worse. Goes a little far, I think. So they get tagged up a touch. And Apex looks for some space. Jocks for a position after seeing that boost come down. We know Navi like to stack. They have stacked up quite heavily here, but keeping tabs on Arch. There's so much time left in the round still. Unclear where Vitality will end. Though, as I say that, they set up for some smokes. And are met by some as well.
Boost on Arch side, but Spink starting to reel backwards here as the Molotovs will indicate the commit. Magisk with the foot flash. Bit, nice Beretta kill. Kicks it off. But how about Perfecto behind those boxes? Seems to have gone unnoticed for now. Ooh, and that's it. Primed perfectly. Perfecto comes out. Almost a third kill with that one. Spink's going to have to clutch this. They get swarmed. Because of those rotates through the CT spawn, doing damage through that smoke, they kind of, for that moment, forgot about the possibility of Perfecto.
Yeah, they got a little distracted, and the smokes were coming up, and they just had so many targets to deal with. So, well done on the positioning. Everything works out well. I think their entry was Magisk. I believe Dupree dropped the flash at his feet. It's either Dupree or Magisk who's up in front.
Magisk, yep.
And he ate Apex's flash. So a little bit of a mistiming as they tried to execute. And it's not a small thing to lose your first player, even if you have a nice rifle advantage. So that space gets taken away.
Great little bonus round pickup from Navi. Straight into the big guns, one of them free. SDY swinging the AK. Simple still on the scout. It's not full powered Simple, but still a beast nonetheless. Apex, oof, close one. Already almost dead. Falls away from that banana fight. Worse for wear.
Shout out to Hedrick, did an excellent job in Simple's absence just a week ago. Maybe G2 can buy him too.
They say money solves all problems. Keep going, Carlos. Bit waiting.
Ooh, they're not so.
Oh, no check. Little gap
it's a
here
little
for Bit
messy
as well. That's welcoming.
That's a bad smoke too. Look at that.
Naded. Dunked on Perfecto. Good utility. Zywoo, not a comfortable push whatsoever. Again, that rotate comes through from the CTs. They stop it in the spawn.
They're looking for Spinks to potentially make a play, but he just doesn't have a way to get this, you know, pit anchor off his position. SDY still up on the balcony waiting. And so they'll peel back off of this. So a messy exec, another messy exec actually from Vitality, and it really cost them the round. They left CT open, I think, purposefully, but after losing their first player, the second one maybe to check upper, and they didn't get that first kill, then there was just a crossfire that just was pre-existing that was basically untouched, and that was the issue. I think they maybe would have died from quad here even.
Nade that finds Apex really solidifies it. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how that's going to feel.
That's how I look when I'm going to space.
Tough spot early, Vitality. 3 AKs up. Not nearly facing for Banana as early as they were last round, but Bit still hunting his shots and Simple tucked in. He's going to be first contact. He looks away. Worst possible moment to turn his attention. Double kill from Dupree. Let's see if SDY can hold this on his own. He gets one, retreats into the big pit. Spinks up above him. Bit trying to move over with Perfecto. Perfecto goes down, and so will SDY. That's that first bullet accuracy that we saw right out of the gate yesterday from ZywOo. Just dismantling G2 on Vertigo with that cleanliness that he here employs. So 4 up for Vitality. They've all got to look at Dupree and send him a thank you.
Yeah, not sure why Simple looked behind him there. Maybe he was trying to dodge a flash really quickly, but the timing... did not work out, and his teammate in the back didn't get the kill either. SDY got real overstressed in the big pit, and they did a good job of just not attacking him as they got to the end of halls and they got up on the hay cart. All they had to do was show him that they were there and then let the Arch guys go ahead and complete the wrap, and that ended up working out well. So we had a couple of messy rounds from Vitality, but that one's a little bit cleaner. And they also were very aggressive about the way that they pushed up towards mid, so early timing for them. They get that bomb down, they keep 4 alive, and I think there still should be enough money here for Navi to answer back, but still, this is good for the confidence.
Ooh, and he gets away from that second fight, re-engages nicely.
Wow.
Pop. Electronic gets popped. Oh yeah, a little roll of the eyes, doesn't feel good for Simple. It's Vitality. Making sure their success doesn't run up dry early on. But here we go, Simple on the op. Now the game begins. ZywOo chipped away at, stuck between the fire. Easy pickup there for Bit. Utility did not make ZywOo's job easy whatsoever.
Yeah, that was kind of a perfect read with the Molotovs. They made him run through a lot to find a fight. Bit had a huge advantage. And at least Vitality come away with top banana control, but look at the re-aggression coming in. Bit with the flash. Ooh, Magisk with the flash dodge, though.
Very nice.
That's perfect. And Apex, actually, it might have been his that he was turning from.
Vitality dancing around Banana. Gonna try this B hit yet again. The bullets whizzing by Perfecto. Electronic. Ooh, he got a little pocket on that new box.
That one's finicky. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
They won't know that he's alive as well. And I think they've looked this direction, so I don't know if they clear him.
Tag up Simple as he sits in the back of the CT spawn. There it is. Element of surprise again. It's a player in a back pocket of the B site with a 2K, just like the time Perfecto goes unchecked. Magisk doing it all here. 3 kills in. And it was both Magisk and Dupree that our resident analyst Maniac brought up prior to this game going live.
Yeah, let's drop a scaling flash here, so we'll see if anybody peeks Simple, but for now, he's going to be able to allow SDY to get out.
Ooh, looked like that was going to be the moment. A re-peek in from Dupree. Both CTs now incredibly low, nowhere to go. Dupree is going to offer up a double. That's a Danish full house.
Yeah, they make that happen. So, I mean, Electronic gets 2 from his position after he's offered up a little bit of space. And this is where it all begins. So that makes it the 4v4, and then they do a good job of killing everyone else. So even though Electronic does so much damage, it doesn't matter at this point. The post plant is really well played in an unfortunate situation, but they were also gifted the ability for Electronic to get away with that. That specific Molly lineup that they throw, it's a little finicky. Sometimes it doesn't spread properly, and I'm not sure if that's because a lineup is a pixel off, but it should be the late spread that always catches it behind quad.
Boiler peak. Sundai Young goes down. Vitality looking to just flex the weapons advantage. Got Simple and Electronic here. Good headshot into Apex. Still able to offer us a frag. Electronic's nades got Apex's name on it, but somehow that doesn't kill him. We need a close-up on that. Oof. He survived a deagle shot to the forehead and a grenade on his feet.
Time to buy a lottery ticket.
He's got that titanium armor tonight. Bit stuck into the corner. Could catch Magisk if he's not looking the right way at the right moment. Bomb will soon to be picked back up, and all is good. This is actually a huge one for Vitality, considering how low Apex is, Dupree as well. Hell, even Zywoo's on half health. These kills could have been pretty important.
Yeah, must feel debilitating to know. Like, you could pick up kills here, but they're going to be hard to find in SP250. Well, that helps out. And there's still a total of 3 players who are super low. Oh, Bit almost finds his way in, but no dice. So a very clean round overall. Again, 3 up.
Legends of Counter-Strike here, head-to-head. Trying to rally the troops.
I feel like there were people in history that they made statues of that looked a lot like Blade.
Yeah, okay, fair, sure. I'm surprised that Denmark hasn't put up a statue of Zonic yet.
Yeah, that's, you know, at least out of macaroni or something. You know, at least something.
Yeah. School projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you've said that, would make a good statue.
It would make a good statue, right? It's the chin placement.
Ah, it's important.
Just the angle, it's like 20 degrees higher than most.
Very chiseled.
Yeah. Very commanding chin from Blade.
3-round lead from Vitality and a buyback in from NAVI. When's the last time you saw Simple with 0 kills 8 rounds into a game?
I was I don't have memories from that age.
Oh, okay.
It was too long ago.
Yes, this is before
my brain plasticity wasn't there yet.
Before the dawn of man.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can offer us here in round number 8. Good little vie for control here. Ooh, 2 players in apartments with 3 on short side for the Na'Vi setup. This could be Spinks' chance. Haven't quite seen, you know, a big glowing moment from him. But the timing could work out wonderfully. He's going to creep it out. Insta-kill versus SDY, gets caught. And there's the trade from Dupree. So Vitality coming out on top of this. However, Apex, unsuspecting of a third, and a fast rotate from Perfecto could cause problems. He does a ton of damage. In fact, Magisk and Dupree barely alive in this 2v2. But the bomb's been dropped down by the hay cart as Magisk falls into the pit.
Whoa.
And Dupree hasn't really found a way to enter.
This is interesting. Yeah, Dupree going back to mid, and Electronic's been real patient here. But I don't know if he's going to get any brownie points for it if Dupree takes just long enough. And look at him, he's actually going all the way through underpass. So Magisk is going to draw some attention, and it could come down to the overextension from Electronic. It's going to be very hard to read that he's this far back, but he's starting to come up now. Oh, and Bit goes down. Electronic trades him out, and now 1v1, Magisk low.
But the bomb, he needs it. Ooh, and Electronic, a little shoulder dance. 15 health there makes the difference between Electronic and Magisk. Means in that fight specifically, Magisk cranks out more damage, but Electronic had more health to start with.
Yeah.
So he hangs on by a thread.
And he doesn't, you know, he shoots like he has more HP. He takes his time with it, makes sure to get that one bullet in right here. As you can see on this last shoulder.
Oof.
And it's well done. That's the composure you expect from the new captain of NAVI.
But look at this situation.
Oh, this is terrible.
MP9.
Yeah, this is a terrible situation.
Oh, that's including, of course, the one save. AK held onto to the last, but Bit, he can circumvent the weapon disadvantage just by trying to get up close. Magisk still, however, barrel stuffs him and then falls back with the 5v4. So Vitality, this is a huge chance. You win this one, economy's crushed. 6 rounds on this T side already. Big moment.
Yeah, you're in the money, for sure. It doesn't clear it with conviction. Jumps up on the logs, looks to the right, but not all the way deep enough. That's just the smallest mistake that they need. That would have been Bit upgrading to a better gun, having the 5v4 and bottom B control. World of difference. And now Vitality can start to influence the rotates with all this map control.
Little info at least gathered. Nobody inside the apps at that moment, but Spinks is never too far. been a treat to watch Dupree and Spinks work through apps as of late. Think about Apex, right? We talk about the CT side of Vitality. Him over on that B site, Apex gets the upgrade. Been playing with Masuda over there for a little too long. Firepower looking to just encroach on A.
There's still a lot of guns here.
That's the properly stacked site. Simple within the bomb site itself. Finds Dupree. So far, so good. It's near flawless. Spinks with a double kill goes down. Match is pinched. He's got a problem with the player in pit, but he still hangs on. Again, down to the wire.
That was a fun round. Well, that's a tough one. Vitality, they try to go for something. Navi just meet and greet there over on the A side. They're like, yeah, we're overstaffed. We think you're going to come here. So simple. They all do a good job of drawing attention away from each other. Of course, you can see this crossfire. It's kind of like a triangle.
It's carnage.
Yeah.
8 players all fighting tooth and nail.
Spinks does very well to get the 2 kills that he does. But that's just about it. So with a 3 MP9 round, they're back in the game. And now they only have 2 MP9s.
Still hanging on. Tight one. Everybody's money on the line this time, so Vitality going to get a taste of what Navi had to deal with, and Electronic opens up 5v4. Apex.
They've been getting a lot out of this. Fast push up mid to kill the Arch players, but they obviously risk powering up the Arch player, and that's Electronic on 11 kills already this early.
Ooh, Matt just burnt.
What was that? That was like an HE as well, I think, that combined with the molly. Died almost instantaneously.
Just combusts over by the logs. A really big ask of what's left of Vitality. A little flash here for Electronic. Shh, don't shoot. Quiet. What? Comes out, lines him up. Ooh, there it is. That's hilarious. Sees him and just goes right back.
Yeah.
Almost got busted.
Is that just like ultimate discipline? I don't even know. He just started drooling. He saw him.
Ooh, Spinks though. Nice Khalil shot. Grabs the bomb, but he's thinking there's still somebody in that corner. Gets stuck on a swivel and goes down easy. So Navi, after surviving the triple MP9 round, the double MP9 round, this time they should just be able to feast on the lesser weapon Vitality.
Spinks not on a terribly low sensitivity, 1.1 at 900 DPI.
That looked like one of those moments where you hit the side of your keyboard.
Yeah.
Just run out.
Call that the flusha.
Deagle's in for Vitality, as we alluded to, the limitations. CT side finding a bit of a comfort zone.
Dupree in the interview with James was great. He kind of talked about how, like, you know, Navi, it's just like they have interchangeable pieces because their system is just so foundationally strong. They have players that all know how everything works on top of very high-performing, high-output players, and they can all carry. So, you know, even when Hedrick was on the team, you know, he fit in really well, and then they just had so much carry outside of just Hedrick, the Opper, I should say, you know, whoever the Opper is going to be, that you couldn't even tell there was a substitution in some situations. But right now, it is really Electronic doing most of the heavy lifting. And finally, Navi have 0 MP9s.
Saw the movement. Posts up, looking for feet.
Yeah. This one way is really huge. It's not really possible for Majest to see Perfecto, so the smoke is great for that reason as well. And they know the Ts are here, but the CTs are not pushing.
Just putting down more and more utility here. Burning down the clock into that red zone. 20 seconds.
Yeah, they're both out, so simple now rotate over.
Time to go. It's going to take a zinger of a Deeg shot from someone. And he's got the lineup. 2 easy frags for Perfecto. Gives himself a third. Simple rotates in. And the last one goes down nice and smooth.
Yeah, that's clean. I mean, they got that little info off the crack spot. And that's why you see people shouldering from Banana. It's just guaranteed info. It's really hard to kill someone in that spot. If you have an off, you know, you can get punished, but it's still worth it most rounds to try that. And then this crossfire. It's a classic crossfire in Counter-Strike from CT and Quad. And there's just no way to step past that line. They also don't bring a lot of utility to the fight in terms of smokes to exec, so they just try to do it with the pistols and go for the contact explode.
Finding themselves back in with a buy. And Magisk. How bad do you want to fight for this? Oh my god, he's down to 8 HP already. He's just been bombarded by utility. And there it is.
Yeah, the final bell nade right there.
Mortar strike on Magisk.
Yeah, they trade back inside of middle. Oh, that's a cool find.
Magisk taking the brunt of the utility damage these last few rounds. We saw Apex get absolutely hit by it throughout this event so far. Magisk taking one for him. They still get banana control, so it's what they wanted. They fought for it. They'll find it.
Like one of the benefits of playing versus Navi CT side is they don't really play a lot of aggressive positions, especially around mid. Of course, Simple dies peeking down this time around, but most of the time they're very comfortable in passive setups, sitting and waiting. But they're down to one smoke on B. So that means Bit can't play a position like quad. He can't smoke himself, but this emo pillar is one of the best for multi-fragging anyways.
Feels like one of those spots you have to have good aim for, though. Luckily, it's in his repertoire.
No, but you're right. There's certain spots where some aimers, you put them there because they're going to multi-frag. Some people, you want them in one-and-dones. Of course, Bit is the former.
Ooh. Molly still finds it.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good spread.
Apex gets the insta-dink. Perfecto from the pocket yet again. This side of the bomb site's been problematic for Vitality, but with 4 seconds to spare, they'll get their plant and despair for Navi because no rotate ever got near.
That might have been a good read from Vitality. I mean, they don't even bother Molly and quad in this spot, and it's targeting Bit where he's standing. And I think he actually does have a place to sit properly. They might have just thrown a really optimized Molotov just doesn't land right in the back of quad or back of emo and said
I'd love to
spreads
see
out
it.
far. Yeah. I guess he's unable to peek the left side. So if he's stuck on that one angle, maybe his body's sticking out the whole time. Just the simple fact that it makes him nervous about the spread can be enough to get a player killed sometimes. So a good exec here from Vitality is they just wait it out. You know, they can't deny the fact that Navi used a ton of utility really early on, even after killing Magisk, to try to retake top banana control. And yeah, Simple is not exactly in the game just yet.
Apex. Nice.
That's clean.
Look at this one too as well, right? First bullet. 2 first bullet kills for Apex. That's what you're looking for.
Hell yeah.
You know, flashback to the old days where all he was an entry.
Yeah.
Still got it.
Still got it.
Still got it. Isn't that funny? Wow, that's actually 2 players that I think that are transitioning so well. Like we look, you know, sometimes you forget what Apex used to be, which was just kind of like the jackknife to open bomb sites. Now he's taken on the role. It was one of those guys who you thought, like, really? Can he do this? And now he's touted as a great IGL. And we look across the server, we've got Electronic also filling shoes that we thought wouldn't fit him. So, great trajectories.
Yeah, it's true. I think Apex is the last person that... I mean, and there was a point where he like took a short break. I think he said he'd be back in a couple months, came back in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but
I remember that.
Yeah, but it worked. Simple on the noob tube.
Win it out. Shotty's out. What's he gonna do with it? Sit inside of the apartment, looking for Spinks, perhaps.
Smarter Vitality, sit back and wait. They have been suffering a lot of losses on early banana attempts. Usually Magisk getting pelleted.
Not a great duel here for Perfecto. He's just kind of surveying with that MP9. This is what they wanted. For the T's to run into the M4 instead. Perfecto loses his teammate, but at least it's a decent hold. We've got man advantage. We've got a rotate coming over. And now that they're nice and close and personal, Perfecto stuffs Magisk as he comes around that corner.
Wow.
Double man advantage. So the banana fight definitely not going the way Vitality would have hoped. However, there's still something to keep our eyes on. We've got that Spinks versus Simple fight on balcony, primed and ready to go. And if ZywOo can just walk away, It's a doable 2 versus 4. We've got utility still for Vitality to work with. Utility starts to go over top. It's just about getting past the XM1014, and with a headshot like that from Spinks, they've got the open door. Now, Bit could chase fast enough to deny ZywOo if he doesn't plant tucked in the sight, or if he just takes too long. The SMG's good. Spinks into the clutch. A 1 versus 3 with no time for it, and he just gets hit. Felt like ZywOo had to run in and plant right then and there, but they were worried about, I guess, the close corner being occupied.
Yeah, there's anything they didn't really have info on outside of Spinks getting that kill right off the bat. So that's the opening engagement one right here. And then the MP9 of Perfecto, right? That's the heroic play of the round. He does this falling back after his teammate, I think, gets 1 kill or fails to get the second. And Navi somehow have a lead in this game. It feels like it's much closer than that, or it feels like Vitality are maybe a bit ahead based on some of the rounds they've won. But Navi, I think on 2 or 3 rounds where they've had a couple of MP9s, have been able to win.
That really did feel like the test of the half, right? Triple MP9 into double MP9.
They're giving Navi a chance to get to 9 here, but they are intending to buy next round.
Simple with an op. Feels like we've had Simple on a sniper far and few between.
Yeah, even CT Inferno, it's not entirely, it's kind of up to preference stylistically if you want to use it. This map is so much more about utility than it is about rifles or ops, honestly.
I suppose we bring up those MP9 rounds. No surprise that maybe money's been thin. But Magisk gets sniped down. Bit. Easy first 1 versus Apex. Tucks in as Spinks tries to get any kind of a trade frag going for Vitality. For the 2 AKs they bought up, they get nothing out of this one. No entry, no bomb plant, not even a damn chance. So as this one fizzles out and Navi taking 8th, that 9-6 half could very well be likely.
Yeah, it's on the horizon. Apex will certainly have to make concessions next round no matter what he wants to buy. And this goes well. So we get Simple at the top of B, grabbing his frag, and everybody else coming in hot. Now, Electronic 16 and 5, most kills, least deaths. It's kind of crazy considering the scoreline is just 7-6 at this moment. And it's a lot to do with the fact that they didn't really go for retakes in situations where they lost B control, and that's very classic Navi to like either stack early and just not attempt it. If they have to, they try to go for it, but most of the time they try to stop those plans if possible.
Easy pickup there from Simple. Every fight going swimmingly here for Navi.
Yeah, it's just been a dream for Electronic.
And, you know, we look back to yesterday, we had 2 phenomenal maps out of Vitality, Stomp G2 in the opening and the deciding, but then it was that 28 kill performance from Nico on Nuke that just sucked the life right out of Vitality. We're kind of getting something on that line from Electronic here within Inferno. Enough rounds so far, so we'll see if Electronic can keep it up. We'll see if Vitality can break through. For now, it's going to be Magisk dead again on his plight to fight for Banana. Simple walking this off up close. First shot's great, and the second's just as nice. We said slower start from Simple, but you put that op in his hands, and he's going to deliver a few kills over the course of these last 2 rounds.
Yeah, we almost ended a half without a Simple highlight. I knew something was wrong.
Yeah, there we go. Everything's back to normal. It's going to be a tough attempt to close out the half. 9 for Navi on this defense. Opponent's map pick, all's good. Just needed Electronic to go carry mode until everybody else woke up a bit.
Another thing Navi have done pretty well, I think, overall, is just like killing Magisk, getting a lot of utility damage early on Banana, but just the amount of mix-ups that they've had with the different pieces of utility that they use, I think have won them a lot of rounds here on B.
Final attempt from Vitality to close out the half. ZywOo goes flying forward into Bit. Little bomb plant on the coffins. Perfecto doesn't pull the trigger. They know he's close. Ooh, 2v5. Fun stuff.
And Simple is very slow at the bottom of Banana, so this spot right on default is actually kind of strong.
Oh! Good chance for the lineup there. You've put ZywOo in a 1v3. Apex got pegged by that decoy, and ZywOo's not able to best some Die Young with that 9-6 on the half. A 17-6 half out of Electronic puts him at the top of the scoreboard, leading the server tonight.
This first one is tough. Yes, it is. Rain's entry fragger, but he's been playing for longer.
Yeah, this I think Rain played much more games than Magus, so I guess Rain.
You want more clutches?
I think so.
Yeah.
But Magus is good clutcher, I think.
So we remember at least already two clutches of Rain.
Okay,
Do you remember a clutch of Magisk?
I believe in Magisk here.
So
Rain lower than Magus.
Rain higher.
Floppy, Rain. This guy played way more years.
I mean, can you imagine it? If Floppy was higher? Surely not. Floppy clutches a lot, but Rain's obviously played for longer.
Yeah, it's right.
Floppy lower.
Yeah, this one.
He's very good clutcher, I think.
You think so?
I think so.
This is a tougher one again.
Yeah.
It's probably higher, right? He's playing for a long time.
Yeah. I'd assume Ezetag has played more maps than Floppy.
Yeah. I mean, he's still been farming NA.
So go higher. Yeah.
Higher. Ezetag lower. I mean, Electronic was always super strong in clutches.
Yeah.
Electronic?
Yeah, I think we can agree on this one.
Yeah, I think we can safely agree on this one. And he's good clutcher.
Yeah, he's very good, but yeah, I think Electronic should be higher, no? Yeah, let's go Electronic higher.
I think higher.
Yeah, I think higher as well. That's fast. I like it.
Oh. Over. Okay, rock, paper, scissors.
But Sisson played more like loot-baked cup and stuff like this, so he might.
Yeah, it's true.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Just because of Electronic's experience and how much he's played, I would say Sirson lower.
Sirson is lower.
Higher. Nice.
I think lower.
The Stan is lower?
Yeah. I have to take this one.
Yeah.
He have higher than Electronic, and he have higher than Stan for sure.
Stan lower?
I think lower as well.
Higher.
Yeah, higher.
I think NAV is higher. I'm just saying it instantly.
I'm pretty sure it's Keith.
Yeah.
In my opinion, probably NAV.
Yeah, I'd go NAV higher.
Keith is gotta be higher.
Higher.
Here's Nico.
That's hard. I think Nico also gets some clutches sometimes.
Yeah, I think NAV as well, again. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I follow you winning.
I don't remember that much Nico clutches.
Because of his flashiness and how many clutches he's ever had in his career. Nico higher. Lower.
This one is tough, I think.
Oh, no. Lower.
I've seen how Config plays, and a lot of the times he kills 2 and dies.
Yeah.
While Nico is always like more steady and slow.
I still say probably
Nico. I think Nico.
I think Nico is higher. So
lower. Both times we've had Nico and Config, I've said Nico.
No smoke. Hey, slope wise on the smokes here. I'm touching. I have CT.
I'm blind. I'm
still
blind. Maybe.
Wins. Let's go, boys. We need to go.
I'll smoke CT.
Fuck, dead. Triple. Dead.
Dead.
One more low, boys. One more low.
I'm smoking seats again. Can you watch boost, man?
Reload, reload. Take your time.
I'm watching boost right now, man.
Hold it. I'm just gonna plant.
Yeah, just
hopefully he doesn't go coils.
On coils?
Build coils. It has to be left side coils. Buffalo.
Both low.
He did it. Nice! Nice, boys.
Nice
10 minutes. Good job. Thank you, guys.
Damn, man. Zonic just as loud as the players, even though he's not a part of the mic'd up moment. That's intensity, and obviously, we've still got that 3-round lead for NAVI, so a comfortable spot for them to kick off their T side. Ultimately, it's the Electronic show. 17 kills on the defense, swaps over to the attack. We got utility here between Magisk and Apex, and a 3-man lean on A.
Yeah, that obviously has a huge impact on what the round score is right now. Look how fast we're moving. Oh
my god.
And ZywOo has been extremely consistent with the dualies on these pistol rounds. That is no exception.
Just first bullet, insta-kill.
I think they were just using the poor guy to fake too. There's no attack that comes out behind it exactly.
Spinks on Arch side, about to have 3 players peeking him. He is currently the top fragger of Vitality. Ooh, now he sees a few players confirmed.
They're getting up pretty fast, though. Soon Halls will be compromised. They need to push into this. And Zaiwu goes down, and now Spinks loosens up, so passive setup.
Opens up a perfect split. We've still got the graveyard here. Element of surprise. Dupree tucks back in. Very tough to get him out. Point blank. Oh, headshot into Electronic. Nice shooting from Dupree, but we've got simple 1v3. And Apex rallies. Headshot from him gives Vitality the pistol.
Massive second kill there from Dupree. I mean, that was not easy at all. And that position got really overstressed. I thought really that Spinks would try to challenge a little bit more as they came in. They had the appropriate reaction, pushing into Halls to try to get control, but then Zaiwu dies. And then it comes down to this one, Dane, and he does deliver. So that's ultimately what it's all about. Graveyard, particularly strong, especially with USPs versus pistols that cannot wallbang you. So now we are on the path to getting an even game. I don't want to sleep on the Deagles, but...
Two players layered. On porch side, Magisk thinking about taking a little gander down mid, but he actually catches nothing. And that's going to pull one off. The MP9 getting further back. Dupree as well. Oh, could be like false sense. Those players were right there. Oh, Apex dunks one on Bit. So, Utility coming in strong. Magisk, a one and done, but Dupree with the mowdown. Easy with the A1S.
Really great timing. Perfect re-aggression. Crawling up into those angles and laying down the ADR. We'll skip that one. Just a quick kill. Vitality, I mean, they're going to feel great. We've seen some great CT sides on Inferno from Vitality. Lots of fluid transitions between setups. I think inspired B performances. I think Spinks again steals a show as a player who barely has any Inferno experience. He does a great job of tethering with his team here. I'd love to see him get tested by NAVI in this position.
Ooh, Nade finds Spinks.
And honestly, I think everybody gets a pass on T-side right now. Like, there's only like 3 players in the whole world that even have like a positive T-side rating because of how hard it is these days. And Spinks, I don't know if he's there, but he's close. And I think it's very impressive that, again, on a brand new team, he can push the envelope on the attacking side, because that's just everyone is struggling there now.
I think it's especially fair considering, like, Spinks, all we knew him for was this Ents run, right? It's not one of these players that's been plopped around and succeeded in multiple iterations.
Yeah, he just bounced around for a bit, started to get a little bit better, all of a sudden took off, never looked back. And yeah, he's getting into prodigious territory with his last 6 months.
Pretty tucked in. Got Magisk just behind Apex here. So MP9, oh, had a chance, but nice shot from Electronic and an even better double third.
Damn.
3 kills from Dupree on the short side. Again, it's a multi-kill in this position. However, this time it's versus full-fledged guns.
Yeah, that's nice from Dupree, man.
Killer instinct.
All the way to the last bullet.
And then he just pulled out that deagle like he was ready for a fourth.
Yeah, you could see the clip in his mind's eye. And with 15 seconds, I mean, the attack it has been put out. There's no way to get back into this. They're going to turn tail and run and go and save and try again next round. But this one's all about Dupree on that mid-hold. Even after Apex dies, perfect trade.
Counter-terrorists win. So we are all tied up. Oh, look at that little snap from Electronic. Little pre-fire on that boiler one, too.
Just reading the trade.
Yep.
You know, especially risky considering the ammo capacity there for the A1S.
Also, the fact that the trade peak could have actually come from middle, where the third player does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he takes that little bit of a gamble, and does it ever pay off? And it feels like, you know, back when we didn't have Spinks on this team, Zaiwu was Mr. Consistent. Once he got over that, you know, little bit of English barrier. And Dupree was kind of like the right-hand man, but then even Dupree kind of started to fade ever so slightly. Ever since Spinks has been back, feels like Dupree is right back at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's feeling the honeymoon. This new lineup. And I mean, even, yeah, Zywoo was even down a little bit towards the end before their last move, just because, you know, probably they just didn't feel like they could win. And he's really stepped up as the second best player.
Oof, Apex.
Overall, nice spray from Apex.
Dangerous, dangerous game, but gets away with the opening kill. And still 60 health. Just trying to flex that weapon advantage. Galil exchanges hands from Bit's dead body to Electronic's lively good grasp. SDY doesn't want to take that invitation. Could have been a very nice shot there from Perfecto. Spinks drops his utility. He's now got an empty belt, so hands on the FAMAS, eyes wide open, ready for the push.
Perfecto wants to be careful. The only player right now that has any utility to work with. They're actually leaving him in this outpost at the top of Banana, but I don't know if they're coming back to it. If he is, that makes sense. Got to pay close attention to the utility that he uses right now. But it's certainly not the optimal place to throw it from. Oh, the nade misses.
Yeah, bad bounce. Just caught the corner of the wall. Looked like it could have been huge. We'll see if the pistols can get themselves in. Oh, Electronic with the Galil and SDY pushing forward to CT. Zywoo just diving back around the corner, but that primes Samda Young to come through with the double.
Ooh, that's a little tragic for Vitality. They had everything in place, 3 players alive, all of the regular spots. They weren't even going up against that much utility on top of bad guns. They had done some damage as well. And SDY runs through the CT smoke, gets his Tech 9 kill, turns it into construction with a better gun, and takes out the next trade. And that's just where you have to call this one. So Zywoo going down is the final piece of the puzzle. And NAVI take 10 first.
A huge one. Huge round to pick up. Making sure Vitality don't grab a lead. Freebies in terms of weapons saved from this as well. 3 players up for NAVI. Samda Young, take a bow. Flustering Zywoo from the other side of construction.
They really kept that simple. Now Zywoo will be picking up the op here, which he also doesn't do very often, even CT side of Inferno. He likes the rifle. This map gives him an excuse to use the rifle more, which he kind of always expressed that he wants to do.
He's ahead of the grenades. Got to be cautious here, Vitality. They will get back, throwing a player up on oranges. Another Molotov as well to just keep Simple at bay. Little part of me can't help but wonder, had that nade landed in the last round.
Yeah, it could have been a really good bounce. I think the timing was right.
Mind you, with how clean Navi kept those kills. Galil straight to the face of Spinks. Barely even got a chance to shoot back.
Wow, look how much they've locked him out of peeking into mid on both sides. So the arc smoke is going to come up, but Zai was the first one to have info, and he's sitting back on the site waiting for the exec to come through. So there will be no support flashes for the moment for the B players in the site. They're going to play within smokes as well. They want this fight.
Rotates far.
Yeah, still no rotations. Still no rotations, still no info at all here for Vitality.
Trying to hold this B site blind. Statuesque is that A setup.
Can't help but feel like this one comes a lot down to Spinks.
70 health for him, up and above. Dodges the flash, gets nothing. Apex, deep corner, also empty-handed. So that is just Navi, easy 11.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not a great round to look back on if you're Vitality. They froze up a little bit. I think it was Daps in the interview with Liquid who talked about how when action would happen, they weren't doing a good job of reacting to it. They were just kind of seize up a little bit, weren't as aggressive as they needed to be or felt like they needed to be. And Vitality, throughout the last year, we've seen the system be good and bad, you know. And usually when you say system, that means consistency in the way you play. But I think for them, they're an exception where if the calling's a little foggy, the ideas aren't there that day, they do play vanilla CS. On a day they're playing well, they're going through fluid motions. They're never playing without info. Again, I think I talked about it the last time. You see so many flash assists in the kill feed, and this is a round where you don't see that at all. They sit back, they wait, they split the difference. No banana control. Navi even took a good amount of time doing nothing. No one peeking mid, no one putting pressure down. The smoke and Molotov that came down at Porch and Arch respectively, they both came up and no one peeked behind it to clear out bracket. So they were very scared of Navi in the situation. They paid for it.
So the Navi lead grows.
And what's very important there is not necessarily to have 3 players in B, but to have someone who's at least leading off so that you can have a flash support over the roof of quad. So your players in the back of the site can, you know, rely on that.
Yeah, it feels like we saw it with Spinks on box, right? He's looking away from Navi's flash, and it's not as if he's got anything else to work with to kind of get the advantage back. So.
And even a bit of spam from back there is underrated. You know, the idea that someone could be up on CT or shooting you on the cross and you have the temptation to shoot back. Even if that player doesn't do damage, that can be huge presence. But they don't have it. So 2 straight for Navi. Another rifle here for Vitality, though.
Deep smoke cuts Simple off from the pack. Got Zywoo here, so a new face at this B site. But just as he arrives, he also falls back. Spinks, ooh, blinded. Simple comes through that smoke with vengeance, and Apex is at least able to trade. He gets back into the site. Zywoo a close rotate. Apex still busy throwing nades, and Zywoo almost gets caught by that jump up. Electronics blinded. Apex is too. Caught on the corner. He's in no man's land. How does he get those? How in God's name is Apex not dead in that situation? Everybody's blind.
Holy moly quad.
Zywoo's gonna miss a shot. He's got Bit crossing over. Oh, and he finds nothing here.
Oh, they did such a good job of dealing with him. Man, the continuation flashes this round are absolutely insane. Now, it's not over, and they have a B flank coming in fast. We're switching to Danish.
Good amounts of utility. Molly in first. Dupree starts to test the site, gets the first challenge. Bit keeps his head tucked. Magisk loses his.
There's no chance now.
And that's a safe call.
Yeah, they can fall back to Con. It's opened up, so the first kill in this 2v2 was critical. They couldn't find it.
What a round.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, outside of Apex's crazy 2K that they got, they basically stood no chance of holding down this site, right? Opening duel on Spinks won that early, but everyone was blind that entire way through. We can give some credit to the counter flashes from the CT side, but ultimately it's the T flashes that make the most difference. And even the final play, they continue to layer the utility as Zywoo is stuck between Emo and looking to move to quad, which would be the golden position for him to stand. And they molly it as the exec is already taking place. So they don't switch to running out dry. And yeah, all you can do is laugh. I don't know. I think he did pretty good.
He did fantastic.
I think he did really good.
I love he hits that critical moment where it's like, oh, I didn't get back? Well, then this is all I can try to do.
Right. Yeah, I think he
the fact
in fact he did the most. Yeah. He did the most of anybody.
3 kills. 3 kills. He traded out the first
he did
one.
3. Wow.
Yeah, he got Simple on that quick trade right before he fell back. Just the fact that Apex gets a 3K and they still lose the B site. Dupree the solo M4 as he saved in the last round, so he quickly goes and clears alt mid. Spinks with the point blank deeg. Electronic just deleted, but perfecto.
Oh, that could
got
be
the side of that.
As soon as they went to go get the gun, he shot him.
Spinks nearly a same situation. Smoke grenade fades. Everybody's leaned over. Now they didn't get that second M4 over here because Dupree's still doing his own thing on the A site. Spinks has grabbed it. Oh, deleted by Bit though. Clean headshot with the AK. And now the pistols are going to try to squeeze anything else out of this, but it seems like Navi have tons of runway to keep this T side moving.
No wasted space there by Bit. Every single flick, every single clear. On point. They'll chill for the plant. It's unstoppable though. Strong entries. That refrag through the smoke from Perfecto was huge. Like as soon as they went to go pick up the gun, right? That would have been 5v4 and it would have been scary sitting behind the smoke, but that changes it up. So Navi hit 13. I don't know if Vitality break the piggy bank next round, but they might want to. Actually, are they good? No, they did save this one, so they should have enough, yeah.
Sem4 could help. But it's not going to be kept. So, bomb pops. 3 survive here for NAVI. Again, it's just rinse and repeat, ramming their way through this B site.
Yeah. At the end of the day, this map has not been about simple, but the other pieces of NAVI have been like, pretty extraordinary still, so there's really no shame in losing. At least from here. But the thing is, Vitality CT side, absolutely they could come back. We've seen it before. We know how strong their CT Inferno is, definitely. But I don't know if they're playing at full strength right now. I think when they shine the most is with the top banana retakes. Not even the bottom banana takes. Just the catch grenades to Molly Car, flash retake. And we see Navi have an affinity for taking the site when it's open.
Man, if I was on Vitality and I looked across the room and saw Blade reading an encyclopedia, I'd feel like they'd know what I was doing no matter what I tried to play.
There's an intimidation factor. I mean, it could be gibberish.
Just doodles. For now, gonna send Simple to the top of Banana, see what he can get. I like that too. T-side Molly behind the logs, even though they've already got it cleared.
I think they're trying to goad them into taking it. So here is the Molly that comes down, and they can boost to see over top of the smoke if they want to. And yeah, they start to make presence. I honestly think if you wait this out, the CTs are the ones who will get the most scared.
Good grenade damage.
Yeah, and they peel back.
Still a lot of time, though, in that little banana play that just cost all the grenades on that B site, essentially.
Yeah.
Apex still has... Oh, never mind. Spinks just grabbed another smoke.
I think there's a couple of things on the ground, and Navi have used a lot of utility themselves, but they have just enough to go through with an entirely full exec, especially with the Molotov left over. That makes me feel like they still want to end at the B site.
Magisk. Why falls down, doesn't get caught. Would have exchanged glances with Some Die Young.
Wow, is this a late fake? They're not going to wrap through Arch. They are pressing the time right now. 25 seconds. And the bomb is starting to go back to A now. This is
crazy. Bits ahead of all the grenades. Sees Spinks' arm. Tracks in. Spinks comes out.
Okay.
Gets the kill. Zywoo will be chased. And Simple's looking for the follow-up here. We've got 5 seconds to spare. He gets the player in pit. Dupree just needs to stop. Bomb and Perfecto. No.
Ooh.
Not by the looks of things. Just misses that bomb plant. Would have been a squeeze that he'd still have to pull out in that 1v2 with 30 health.
Yeah, and they actually don't push him, even though the round ended, so they could have had a chance there to do a dent to the economy, but they got to worry about their own. CT side, everything's so expensive. So they'll take that win. I think Navi beat themselves a little bit here. They could have done either site pretty effectively because they had this utility advantage, but this fake isn't really that useful at this point in the round because there's no rotations that are going to come out. Spinks would have taken some time to get there. His teammate had already left. That felt more like attacking 2 sites at once as opposed to faking one site and taking the other.
Forget about that A site and just hit B again. This has gone very well for Navi multiple times, but Apex, quick kill versus Simple. Bit's got the trade. Spinks, you gotta get something. Player goes over top, doesn't react and dies. Man advantage for Navi. Bomb plant on the B site, but at the very least for Vitality, they do still have players near. Still though, just desperate. Everybody tagged up from Navi. It's not an ideal spot, but they've also still got the CT smoked out and a very, very compelling save here from Vitality. So they walk out, they leave.
Yeah, so I mean, I had a lot of great things to say about Spinks, I think, and again, where a lot of his highlights came from were not within the site, they were like while pushing. In this spot, Spinks is starting to repeat positions a lot. Like he was up top on oranges, they heard him drop, and then when his teammate died, there was no way for him to get out of there. There was a molly behind him. He can only swing a little bit, so put himself in an awkward position, and he's kind of been eating the flash over and over again when he's been sitting up there. So I think in terms of where they're both playing together, they could add a little bit more flavor, try something new.
Could have been worse. They come in with more grenades, decent amounts of guns, vitality. They let Navi get 15 here. Strapped for cash and a tough way to end, but those grenades are phenomenal. Damage wasn't a problem, even last round as well. Vitality, they softened him up. But you got to knock him down. And I think this is more what you were talking about when Spinx's performance is kind of hit on this B site, right?
Yeah.
Getting out of that bomb site, moving it forward. With a flash like that, he gets one. And he's got ZywOo behind him, but no overcommitment here from Vitality. Navi's starting to suss out the apartments.
And with ZywOo to get that kill on Apex, this of course shows him that it's definitely a 3B setup. But they're not moving up to mid. I think instead they're hoping that Vitality, the ones who get scared, maybe rotate out. Oh, this push.
Apex, ballsy, but ZywOo empty-handed.
Oh man, they thought that Navi were going to go back after seeing him, maybe.
Oh, that's a tough one to recover.
Yeah, they actually just stood patient. I thought they were making the right play, like waiting it out, letting Navi come back to them.
Do you go for this? I mean, the nade could find, nope, not even. Yeah, it'll hit some Young. If that nade falls on Simple or Bit, then maybe it's a kill.
That's a cool nade. It goes over quad?
Yep, look like it.
Wow, just no chance to get back into this. So yeah, again, I think what happened is that ZywOo gets his kill after Spinx peeks.
No, Spinx got it first.
After Spinx peeks. And then they think that it's 3B because ZywOo gets the kill. And after they trade him, or after he goes back, then Vitality are like, all right, well, they're probably going to go back to A now. But that just never happened.
Uh-oh. So be it. Cut your losses. You've got 5 map points to close out Inferno. Did they see him? Oh, the assist. Yep. Spinx takes the first kill with him. And a tough one. I don't know about the thumbs up, man. CT side still trying to figure out this B hold. Again, you've got the guns, you got the grenades. Last round was a bit more boisterous, got aggressive. Just, in fact, ZywOo dies empty-handed on that third attempt. Oh, and it's fast from Bit. Right past the flames. And a molly to push him back. Dupree. Man, I feel like we haven't seen much go down in apartments. And Some Die Young's going to change that. Magisk, a lot to do here. You know, this has been the same problem with the B site, the numbers game that Navi have just been leaning into. Magisk has to deliver and then some. Molly to try and cut them off. He gets electronic first. Sees the player dive into the site. He's got a problem. Some Die Young, 2 kills in the apps, and now you have to go for this. Taking ZywOo off of that A site, putting him on B in back-to-back rounds. And Navi just reacting one step faster. 2 smokes, 2 flashes. But they still have to wait out. The one in front of Moto. Now it's been clear. Apex looking for the contact as the 2 other CTs tried to press up, but they lose Apex before they see anything. And now 4 members of Navi just ready to gun them down. A 16-10 from Navi on Inferno. Looked like we had a competitive game. Hell, we did at one point. But then once Navi started to tear up that T side, Vitality simply moving pieces left and right, but couldn't keep up tonight.
Yeah, they couldn't. I mean, it was marginally close, I suppose, but yeah, in the second half, Navi just got way more out of that. I think they did put enough pressure on Spinx to make him have not a great game on the CT side. Actually did a bit better on the T side, which is pretty impressive. But that's it for them on Inferno.
And good look from NAVI, right? They didn't lean on that simple show, but everybody else putting up the numbers, enough to dispatch a Vitality for the first of this best of 3.
I beatbox like I do the song with my mouth.
Interesting, I've never done that one before.
It's gonna be pretty hard for me to make some sounds.
Firearms is not very relaxing in my opinion.
How do you make 1 crore while you are traveling? See, I'm right now in Estonia, but we're going to Dubai, then US, then Canada. You see, I travel the world and I can still make crores. 5 years ago, I did not have this life. I was sitting in a desk job, trading time for money, not knowing my passion. I realized that, man, when would I make 1 crore? I was making 36 lakhs a year. And I realized making money is not that difficult in today's time. We are living in beautiful times that all you need is your knowledge, your passion, and your internet magical device, your cell phone and other things. Anybody who has these three combinations, knowledge, passion, and the device, you can make 1 crore. There are multiple ways. The reason why people do not make a lot of money, because they're still in the job, they don't know what to do, they're still taking time for money. Or if you create a product or service, which you can sell it for 10,000 rupees per month, all you need is 100 clients to make 1 crore. That's it. But how? Which product should I build? How do I build the product? I've never done this before. Guess what? I did not do it either. I learned it from my mentors, and I've been teaching to my mentees. Hundreds and thousands of people have joined, and I'm going to share this with you as well. There is a webinar which is happening. Click the link, join the webinar where I share with you the 7-step process on how I have done it, that I can travel the world and I can still make crore plus. Anybody can. Click the link. I will see you in the webinar. Please book your seat right now because I may not do this very often. Seats are getting full, thousands of people joining. I'm doing it at a very discounted rate right now, which may not stay for a very long time. So join the webinar and I have some bonuses for you as well. I show you how do you make 1 crore in a genuine, authentic way, not get rich quick, not MLM, not network marketing, and a genuine way of finding your passion and converting that into a real business. Click the link. I'll see you soon.
Hey, I am going for a vacation where I'll be totally cut off from my business and I'll be chilling for the next week. And by the way, my business is valued over 100 crores and it continues to grow with or without me. You want to know how you do that? Come on, let's come inside. Look, your business can run without you. You just need proper systems and strategies to make it possible for you. There are only 8 core functions of any business in this whole world. What I have done to run my business completely without me is that I've strategically set up the 8 core functions of my business with proper systems and processes. And these 8 core functions have helped me grow my business from nothing to almost 100 crores in just last 5 years. These 8 core functions are like marketing, sales, operations, etc. Now, you might not even thinking about them in a strategic manner. Today, it might sound very complicated to you, but in reality, it is not. All you need to do is to learn from someone who has already done it before. Now, I teach these functions in my live 3-hour workshop called Business Freedom Challenge, where I help business owners like you to achieve financial freedom and freedom in life. Now, I have simple templates which you can copy and paste and implement in your own businesses, and well, you will get results from day one. And exactly this is the best part about Business Freedom Challenge Workshop. You can literally apply these principles to your business and see the results tomorrow. Hi, my name is Amit Parikh and I'm here to help you build a strong business that is completely driven by processes and systems, where you can also relax and enjoy life while your business grows without you. I have coached more than 30,000 business owners in the last decade, helping them to grow crores of revenue. And yes, if you pause this video and click on the link, you will get my Business Growth Mastery ebook and other bonuses worth 20,000 absolutely free. And all this and lots more valued at rupees 99 only, 99. So what are you doing here? Go grab your spot now and vacation like me while your business grows without you. Cheers, all the best. See you in the workshop.
Just like that.
Blade, a great opening start here on your opponent's map pick. We saw Simple come back in, but it wasn't needed to be the Simple show. Things have certainly changed around, so is this a new system working out already?
Maybe, I hope. Simple is not in a good shape. I mean, not in his best shape by this moment, but on T side, he was pretty good.
And in terms of that, right, is it nice the fact that obviously even on the group stage, you didn't need to have him there in order to find success? Is this the proof that the system you're trying to implement is starting to work?
You say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can see it either way, Blade. Now we're going to Mirage, so that's what's coming up next. Your pick, your bread and butter in it. How confident are you feeling when it comes to this lineup and what they're able to do? Like you said, Simple not being in shape, and you don't seem that worried. You seem fine.
We're not confident like 100% on all maps because it's only the start of the season. We didn't have a lot of practice on all maps, but we know that all maps are like almost the same in terms of our confidence, but we will try. I think they lost last time versus Astralis, so we will try to abuse some weaknesses.
And in terms of what you're saying there, right, about being fully ready, fully confident on it, how confident are you with the practice you had in just now with Simple, obviously being a little bit less than what you would have wanted?
Practice was really hard, like very close scores, not everything not so perfect. Okay. But we know that we're only starting.
Well, hopefully the start continues to be very good. Thank you very much, Blade.
NAVI in the land of the living, despite this one being Vitality's map pick. 16-10 in their favor are the grounds of Inferno after winning the last 7 of the 8 T rounds to close this one out, Matthew.
A bit of a disillusion for the fans of Vitality around the world, myself included. I had higher hopes for the defense, but I have to be honest, I have to give it to Blade. They truly put Vitality's defense through the fine-tooth comb to find the weaknesses, to find the gaps. You could see Apex and Spinks were at loss for solutions on the B side. I think they reacted way too late in changing the structure of the defense, and Navi just had a field day on that B side.
I feel like this game overall fell a little bit flat for Vitality. It fell a little bit flat for Navi for that matter as well, of course. They win the opponent's map pick. You can never argue about that. That's never a sad thing. But even their own CT side wasn't really up there where you'd expect it to be. Vitality, again, CT side-wise, we talked about the T sides being strong. We talked about the CT sides maybe not so much. We got to see that a couple of times in this game as well. You end up losing 7 out of 8 rounds, to finish off the game. That's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. By all means, not the game I had expected.
It was just too passive from Vitality, and it is something that Londers brought out to the cast very rightfully. They were just somehow either off tempo in their attempt at finding information, or they were just flatly not doing it. Flatly just not doing it. We have a couple of highlights coming over now from the first half, and I guess my tone should change because this was some good moments for Vitality. Yeah. A huge focus on the B side, which is why I'm so surprised. It seemed to be their target, but where was the focus on the CT side?
Yeah, they just couldn't get it done, unfortunately, in a scenario where Vitality, as you said, got off to a good start. We're part of the game early on. I thought it was one of those moments where, sure thing, this is going to be a good game. It's going to be back and forth. Both teams are going to pick up the pace from time to time. But as I said, it was a very slow-paced game throughout the entire time. A lot of the fights were happening towards the B-bomb side over and over and over again, not only in the first half, but also in the second.
Yeah, we talk about the importance of banana control, the importance of being able to get onto that B side. And you were talking about, Matthew, the fact that, Navi were just able to break through that defense better than Vitality were in that first half.
Yes, if we were to compare both defenses, I would say Navi did a much better job at adjusting on the fly what was going wrong. You could see at the very beginning, we have a couple of images coming right now. Vitality were the ones that had the success on banana. They found the opening kills they could exec, but then from a moment, there was a switch that clicked, and Navi started playing differently. They started using more utility. Majisk didn't even play the last 3 or 4 rounds. He got blasted into oblivion with nades and timed Molotovs and good flashes to pop him. So Blade, and again, Navi for that matter, understood what was going wrong, and they came out with new ideas, new solution, new feeling. For Vitality, it was just rinse and repeat, trying to come up with the same defense, and they started to change way too late in the game.
We kind of highlighted this game as the big battle between Saivu and Simple, right? Saivu reforming into the old Saivu, let's put it that way, putting up a fight against Simple. Maybe perhaps, you could have a conversation whether or not Saivu has been on par with Simple the last couple of months. In this game, they were both conspicuous by their absence. In the game that none of them showed up, it was not a game about the stars at all. And then I want to bring on a point as well that I kind of got intrigued by what Blade said right here in terms of the system. Vitality, I have the same feeling about Vitality I've had all year long. Last couple of years, to be honest. Without Saivu playing well, Vitality is not going to win their games. But we've seen for Navi that without Simple playing well, they can still win Counter-Strike games. They even did it without Simple on the server just a week ago. When Simple is not playing well, Navi's a team you can talk to, I'd say. But when Simple is playing well, they're just untouchable.
It's truly a testament to the value and the quality of this Navi team, right? Like, we're never, ever going to take anything away from Simple. One cannot do that if you know just a little bit about Counter-Strike. But these moments make you realize how much work there is into just their philosophy, their understanding of the game, and the talent across the board. We have Electronics just stepping up massively, having a great CT side. We had Perfecto in day one here at Blast, having a great moment. Bit is obviously providing. There are so many assets that actually Navi can go from, not just relying on Simple, whereas for Vitality, it's a rude awakening again. If Saivu isn't having a good game, you're not beating Navi.
It's also a testament to the progression that they've been in Navi camp, that is, right? The last couple of years, every single time we had a desk segment, we talked about Simple. Simple's playing well, Navi's going to win. Simple's not playing well, they're not going to win. Today, it's a complete different scenario. I think the system Blade is integrated with these guys, bringing in Bit as well, having Electronic as an in-game leader. There's so many assets to this lineup now. Perfecto as well, involving into a clutch monster, a role player, up there, perhaps the best in his role in the world. So there's just so many attributes to this lineup that I'm happy to see, because it's getting boring talking about Simple all the time. But now, finally, we have time to talk about all of the players.
Yeah, and of course, we will be progressing onto Navi's map pick. That does come down to the grounds of Mirage. Already saw them playing up against G2. That was a very tight 16-14 victory, but we heard Blade alluding to it in the interview with James Banks. Obviously, we saw Vitality narrowly losing out to Astralis in that overtime. So how are we weighing up both these sides coming into this map?
There is a little bit of tape out there for Navi to kind of study Vitality on Mirage and how they try to tackle some of their structural issues with Spinks coming in. The thing that really jumped to my mind is that now we see Dupree and Apex most of the time playing towards the B side. This is something absolutely new. They try to make space for Spinks in that connector position, which we know he wants to be involved. We know he wants to be in the fight, and when you have that talent, might as well just throw him in there. But he talked about weaknesses. He talked about some abuse that would happen. Would that be the B-side? That could be a possibility.
It's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. I'm curious to see what the bounce back is going to look like from Vitality. Mirage, historically speaking, for this lineup has been a little bit up and down. They integrated it now, coming in with Dupree and Magic, Sonic as a coach as well. They came from Astralis, where they never played the map in a long, long period. They've had some decent results, but it's always been very much up and down. As you said, we saw them play it against Astralis. They lost very narrowly. Now they're going up a complete different beast. You saw Saivu. He was sitting right there. He was warming up throughout the entire break. I think he wants to make a statement right here. And as we said before, without Saivu playing well, Vitality is not going to win this map.
It's possible that Vitality lose to NAVI right here, right now. Of course, NAVI is a better team, but what I absolutely don't want to see is Vitality again just slowly going towards a defeat without reacting. Please, go again. Try something. If it's not working, change. Throw everything you have at the battle. If you lose, it's fine, but go out there with a bang.
Yeah, we want to see that bounce back from Vitality coming in if they have any hopes of pushing this to a third and final deciding map. Mirage up next on the cards. Navi's pick coming into things and a chance for them to grab that spot at the Royal Arena hands-on. It's coming up with Nordics and Scrawny in just a few.
Oh my.
Okay now. Jesus.
Trying to keep this place clean, Magis.
That was some Danish I understood.
Yeah, for once. Spambabab Vierkant.
Spambabab Vierkant, my favorite cartoon.
It's about all I got in the pocket. Navi, well, they got a lot more than that because Vitality, well, they were hanging on. We had a good game. It was competitive, looked tight. Thought maybe today we were going to end with a bang. Then Navi, well, they had Vitality whimpering. By the end of that CT side, they were just losing bomb site after bomb site, B to A to A to B. Didn't quite matter where Navi went, they were finding the success. And now we go to their map pick. It's Mirage, folks, that Vitality are going to have to hang on to. If they can't, of course, Vitality will have one more chance versus G2 tomorrow. And we'll be saying see you in the Royal Arena, Navi. Sue. Yeah, okay.
I don't know how to say it. Like, why is there an I in there, but it's not just Sue?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm no linguist. Magisk. He's got away with words. And he's gotten away from that smoke for the time being. Spink's going to move it around Ticket. For all they know, they got players about to pummel that A site. And honestly, that's exactly what's about to happen. 5-man pop from Navi into A. Magisk has to give it all up. Zoned very much by that utility. We got the old 5v5 post plant in a pistol. A classic. Magisk, first man dead. Little gap here for Apex to try and shave one off the jungle, but honestly, Navi don't have to fight this.
Yeah, this is really hard to get back window control now, so what can they do? I mean, they can try to go up and... I don't even know, man. Dupree's so low. They normally try to jump into the window where SDY is aiming from Cat, but they're literally saving. They lost one player in this pistol round, and they're saving because genuinely, like, how do you even pull off this retake? Just a flash and a nade on Apex, and yeah, they don't even have a kit, so actually no chance. Not every day you see one person dying and then a pistol save. On Mirage, it's not a great map for Vitality. They're coming off of 2 losses. They have a 40% pistol round win percentage. They are below 50 on CT side and T side. What's weird is they took a big win over Ents at Cologne, but Ents were starting to get worse at Cologne. Like, that was like a not great tournament for them. So there's a 16-7 win for them there. So we know they can win a Mirage every once in a while, and they have played it 6 times since Dallas. But yeah, this is incredibly favored towards Navi and their map pick as well, of course.
Lickety split into the B side.
Deagle.
Oh no. That's confidence. Brimming. Over top. And with that 1 kill, look at him run. Look at him run. Like mice, they scatter Vitality all the way back to the other side of the map. A single kill as fast as humanly possible on that B bomb site. And we've got Navi to the 2-0 start.
Yeah, who actually rushes B on pistol rounds? It just doesn't happen these days.
No, it doesn't.
We got to bring that back. Normally it's slow cat splits, mid control, see where the stack is. No, they cut the fat off.
Oh, see, that's why Simple didn't buy a gun, because he just found a free MP9.
There you go.
Now next round, we got 4 SMGs across the board here.
Oh man, they're gonna keep it.
Maybe.
What if? Well, this is
rinse and repeat.
What if they just did that again? There will be some free, like, you know, $300 upgrades into the head armor for Vitality, so they'll be a lot better versus the SMGs. But they could just rush B again.
Do it again.
They could. That'd be very funny and interesting.
You know, I'm no genius.
Okay.
But I think they should do it twice.
Just imagine.
Luckily, of course, Team Vitality kept a bunch of bells and whistles from that last one. So let's see if the 3 Famai can hang on. Versus an Armada.
Well, good thing they didn't rush B.
Yeah, it was indeed. It was indeed stacked.
We were on the Vitality wavelength with that one.
No rush. Just a nice spread across the board here from Navi. Electronic sees nothing towards middle, so he's going to double back. Bit sensing an opening on this A site. And boy, is he ever right. The only thing here are the dual Berettas of Magisk. Oof, gets the dink on Bit, but pistols not quite enough. And now if Navi wanted to, they could just stampede in before the cavalry arrives. Apex and his horsemen galloping over, trying to stop this from happening. Navi follow through with the proper motions, utility all around this. They can plant comfortably on this side of triple. Apex, does he run through smoke? No. And the stack of FAMASes on the side of Ticket also sees nothing for the time being. Nice kill from Simple, predicting that spot and following up. Galil, good for the 2 kills. Bit of damage here versus Bit and Perfecto, but it shouldn't go any further than that.
Oh, they wish they had a kit now. Apex coming in with no armor, picks up this FAMAS, and they're creeping up towards the site, but I mean, I think it's too far gone anyway, so they'll have to walk away. But some good kills here from Spinks, of course, starting off 3-0. And this is, even though I praise Spinks for how fast he adapted to Inferno and some of the good maps we've seen already, that wasn't so good this last time around. Mirage is a home map for Spinks. I mean, this is a map that he is insanely good on. I think he also got a spot. I can't remember. We already watched them play Mirage once, but he's playing on Cat.
Yes.
And that means he got the space he wanted to. Or it's Dupree. No, sorry. He's playing Con, and he switched to Top Con. Dupree stays on Cat, keeps his space. But both are very high frag positions that should kind of exemplify how good an individual is, so it would be interesting to watch him play there.
Capable mid players when it comes to Mirage. But here it is, the coveted rush, right back at it. Good grenade damage, Bit lucky to be alive. A single point of health taken down by Apex, but at least that 1 point of health is used to kind of just get Apex off the angle. You know, you gotta deal with the guy with 1 HP. Can't then establish the multi-kill, but Dupree with a frag to his name. Kind of got lost there. Thinking maybe he was getting hit from Cat. Instead, 2 versus 4 turned 2v3. And Simple gets that bomb down. So Spinks into the flank. ZywOo's got the kit. And all of Vitality with grenades to try and piece this together. Some Die Young on the bench.
Ooh, they smoked Simple. It kind of makes for an interesting situation.
Molly lands on SDY. But he seems to have found a little pocket back there, so they're going to continue to try and just bombard him with grenades. Here comes SDY from the side of bench. Time is of the essence. No second kill for Some Die Young. ZywOo did have a kit, so they should have the defuse. Yeah, plenty of time.
Okay, well done there on the retake. Good. I mean, that's all about SDY. First of all, very tricky drop. There's a smoke on the molly at the end of the halls. And SDY gets off of the balcony without showing himself to whoever was in the site. And then he trades out Dupree after slinking into this bench. And of course, gets the third and final kill for NAVI in this situation. But overall, he kind of did as much as he could. And it went a little under talked about, I'll admit. But over on Inferno, he also did a good job of kind of getting at least one of 2 of entries almost every single time they were trying to hit the B site.
Ooh, first one from ZywOo connects. Good trade there from Bit. Ooh. And a pretty big kill from Some Die Young as well. 4v3. And Apex not able to reclaim this territory. Not at least with the kill, but he's still positioned here. Uh-oh, Bit's coming.
Yeah.
Bit with that off, grabbed it off Simple's dead body.
Yeah, that was weird, because he kind of like overstayed, but at the same time, they're down a player, so he has to take some kind of risk. But of course, that's a really easy clear here for Bit. You know, but with Spinks still alive, I think there's always a chance on Mirage. Ooh, this is an interesting late round position. I'm calling it late round just because there's down so many numbers. Of course, there's still a full minute. But Spinks left side window, he could find a timing. Yeah, he does grab it.
Oh, and then the dink to Perfecto. Magisk.
Wow.
Despite the damage there on Perfecto and Magisk's attempt to take down Electronic, it's just 3 alive for NAVI.
Yeah.
Now, is that a round 1 in the apartments?
Yes, it is. And with this trade from Bit, of course, and here, this push being held onto from SDY, I think what we saw that was the best part for NAVI was not getting tunnel visioned on one initial trade, right? Even though there's some action that goes down at the bottom of the underpass, SDY is still on duty, understands his job of making sure a second push doesn't come through. And there is, oh, dead before he hits the ground. Spinks is out of the rounds.
And Magisk can't even fall back from the triple box. Yo, NAVI are kind of horrifying right now, dude. This is ferocious.
No, I mean, what's crazy about this is last week they played with Headtrick, right? And they still managed to do pretty damn well. But then we also have Simple, who had to take a little break, and he came back. And they still have one Inferno, and already looked pretty impressive. But the craziest part of all is if NAVI win this game, then Pimp goes 0-3 in predictions today.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And that's the thing I think we need to focus on the most.
Do you remember after the first day of this event when Pimp was in first place and all he could talk about was predictions?
I don't, because it was so far, so long ago.
Yeah, that's right. And by the end of the second day, I think he was already... Yeah, he had already... Hey, don't throw French fry.
You can't throw fry at me.
I forgot the green room was that close.
Talk about him and he'll show up.
Yeah, careful.
Still toxic.
Yep, yep, toxic as ever.
I'm tweeting this French fry for evidence. He's lucky it's Sage. I would have seen him in court.
You know what? That's how you know that hit the mark.
It was a headshot, actually.
It was a headshot.
Yeah, Pimp still got it.
Grease on my forehead. But I'm not as greasy as Navi, man. This is a well-oiled machine so far on this T side. 5-1. Quickly killing all these pistols. Wait, they have us on camera at all times, so there's video evidence of that French fry.
Oh my god, that's right.
Oh.